Oh yeah, there sure is. Space weather! Looking at the rising of Sunspot 2724, we got an increase in the solar wind density. A small B-class X-ray flare yesterday, and other things. Somebody must have been listening to our naming convention. We suggested 2 days ago that we title this Sunspot 2724. Somebody must be watching the videos because it's called Sunspot 2724. Check out the magnetic lines. Looking straight down that not well-defined coronal hole in the center of the solar equatorial part of the disk. It's still huge. Let's look at the 48-hour animation in 171 angstroms. Let's go full screen. It's a complex sunspot. It's got multiple different magnetic field mixing areas, which we're going to look at in a moment. It's big. It's got a lot of activity. The fields aren't that strong, but it's a sunspot. Check out solar ham. A lot of mixing there. There's 3 separate areas of umbra, which you can see here, here, and here. And you can see there's a lot of field mixing on the right pane there, on the magnetogram. And there's a close-up in 171 angstroms. Taking a look at the real-time solar wind data, which has just recently had an uptick. But first of all, the BTBZ is extremely high. Extremely high. So the increase in the KP index is probably from a magnetic flux. You can see the phi angle isn't really deriving a signal right now, and the solar wind density has gone way up. It's at 15.09 protons per cubic centimeter. Solar wind speed is still low at 374 kilometers per second. Check out the rest of the weather data, space weather data, at spaceweathernews.com. Like to view this in the desktop version. You can see the high B-class X-ray flux from yesterday there, approaching the upper parts of the B flare range. Didn't cause a significant perturbations. Magnetometer is spiking back up. It's looking like a very steep graph, so see what happens with that. Keep in mind we are connected with the very center of this coronal hole now. KP has recently dropped back down to 1. It was at 3 when we started making the video, and now it's back to 1. Electron flux, very high for the past 2 days. As high as we've seen it in the past 2 months. And now we're getting a little bit of perturbations in that too. Not really expecting it to drop down though, with this incoming sunspot group. There's your F2 ionosphere layer, looking totally non-anomalous, and the auroral ovals are weak, both in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Excited about the sunspot. Did we name it here on the Smash-O-Mash? We may never know, because we have no clue what the naming conventions are for these things. We are excited that they came to their senses and took our advice and called it Sunspot 2724. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the videos if you haven't already done it. Please share the videos with your friends and on social media. There'll be more of these coming out most days. And also, may the wind be at your back and the atherosclerosis absent from your arteries. Oh, one last thing. Please have an earthquake plan, because we're currently having a small earthquake drought, not many in the 5+ range. And we're expecting more. There's been deep earthquakes in various places, such as Fiji, which are harbingers of larger surface earthquakes to come. Best wishes.